morning. We're here with Rach from Arcade. How you doing, Rach?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. So yeah, let's just go straight in. If you'd like to tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please.
Sure. So I'm Rach Drew. I'm co-director of Arcade. We are a community producing company based in Scarborough. So when I say that we're a community producing company, I mean that we make work with artists and with our community, and that might be performances or visual art, exhibitions, concerts, workshops. If it's creative, you name it, we'll have it. And we want to work with people who live here where we are and create exciting experiences that in turn catalyse positive social change.
Fantastic. And it's Scarborough, isn't it, where you're based?
Yeah, we're in Scarborough and Bridge, so and do a little bits of work in Hull as well.
On the coast. Fantastic. And how long have you been doing that for?
Arcade was sort of born in April 2020. It had been in the offing a little bit longer than that, but we officially registered April 2020, mid-pandemic.
Good a time as any to launch something. So how was that in terms of the pandemic? What was the biggest impact for you?
I mean, it had quite a massive impact on us, just because we had some work that was arranged to sort of start and happen in that summer, which was with schools, and obviously the schools all closed and you couldn't all be in a room together, and it was really difficult to well, we basically had to postpone everything kind of indefinitely at first, and the schools project eventually happened last summer, and then one of our other projects that was postponed, Scarborough Stories, has only just happened this July. So it really did kind of knock us on a bit, but then equally it gave us the time to like really set up properly and kind of get our house in order and all that sort of thing. So it was both difficult and useful.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have found the same situation. Some useful aspects in terms of realigning points of businesses and trying to move forward, and then making a success of that, versus obviously the huge kind of adjustment that had to be made initially. So are there any actions that you took sort of that have been a legacy of what you had to do during the pandemic?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, so as Arcade, we're really focused on access anyway, as a rule. So, you know, everything that we do will be in wheelchair accessible venues, and we try to have a sign language interpreter or captioning and all that sort of thing. And I think the pandemic has really taught us that there is an appetite for and a need for online experiences and different versions of events or workshops that happen in person, for there still to be an element of that taking place online. So one of our projects we ran as part of Freedom Festival in Hull was called We Are Goddesses, and it was with a group of young women who imagined what goddesses today might be. And we worked with an artist who created their imagined goddesses. And that we now have a version of that online, so people didn't need to go and see it in the flesh. They can see that online. They can see the words that the girls have written about those goddesses and the images, and also listen to it as well, because all throughout our website we have audio of all of the text that's on there, so it's easy for people to access.
Brilliant. You can expand the reach pretty easily then using that online facility. Yeah. Like that. Good stuff. So what does the future look like from where you are now? What do you see as the main challenges for that as well?
I mean, for us it's quite, capacity is a bit of an issue. So we have like a lot of stuff that we want to do, and a lot of people have kind of seen the work that we've done and are asking us to do more things. So for us, really, we've grown quite quickly. So we've already got 4 on the team. And I think probably that might continue to grow. We were also really committed to working with young women from the area. So we have a trainee producer and an assistant producer who we've both brought on through projects that we've done over the past 2 years. So like training up those young women who are brilliant, like and giving them kind of experiences and sort of a bit more and more responsibility as they go is really important. But it's also like it needs a lot of capacity, and you know, I don't want to be like breathing over their shoulders or anything, but obviously we have to make sure that what they're doing is right. And we've been really fortunate because the young women that we've got are brilliant, our Jen and Shan, but it's when you work with trainees, it takes a bit more getting going sometimes.
A lot of effort to keep things going and sustain that growth
you
want to achieve. Good stuff. Thank you. So in terms of being say a business owner or a charity owner, what's the biggest learning that you've had so far to date, if there's one?
I mean, one thing that I have learned is that I think this is going to sound really odd, but almost everyone is winging it. Like, I think some people are really like, you'll hear people and you're like, oh, they really understand what they're doing. Like, they're really good at what they do. And they must know 100% of the time everything that they're doing and where they're going and all that sort of thing. And I feel like, I don't know whether it's imposter syndrome, but I feel like sometimes I'm just making it up as I go along a little bit and learning as I go. So I feel like I will never be fully like, I know how to run a charity. Like, do you know what I mean? Obviously, I know how to run it, but I don't know whether I've just made myself sound silly, but
no, not at all. I think you hit the nail on the head, because going maybe slightly deeper, I think throughout life, you know, it's only by doing things and having a go that you learn, but you don't know what you're doing when you do them, because otherwise you wouldn't learn, if that makes sense. And that is whether you're running a business, whether you're, I don't know, running a family, whatever it is, you're kind of making it up as you go along. You don't 100% know what you're doing all the time, but you're just giving it your best shot. And with that comes the experience, and the more experience you have, the more confidence you get. But ultimately, I think it is a major learning that everybody just ultimately, the perception of people is, they know what they're doing, but all have challenges and things that we need to overcome, and that is the joy of life, if you can see it in that way. Whilst it may seem a difficult thing, but I can definitely resonate with that. Thank you for that share. That's good. So what would be your best advice to an 18-year-old you, if you could go back in time, whether it's life advice or relating it to setting up an organisation?
I think I would say, like, don't be... So I trained as a theatre director originally, and I think when I was younger, I was like, it has to be theatre. It's theatre or it's nothing. It's, you know, and I think it's not theatre or it's nothing. Like, you know, you will find many things that you enjoy and or are good at and want to do. And I think, you know, being good at learning lots of things is as important as being, like, you know, super sort of what would you say, like, very focused on the one thing. So I think that would be what I would say, is like, doesn't just have to be one thing. Like, it can be multiple things.
I get it. Thank you for that. And so what inspires you to do what you do currently? It could be friends, family, it could be anything that you read, listen to, or it may be the people you work with, or obviously what it is that you fundamentally do, your purpose.
And I think it's the people that we work with that I find really inspiring. And, you know, so I grew up in Bridlington and live in Scarborough, and both of those towns are sort of a bit deprived, a bit like down on their luck, I guess you might say, as beautiful as they both are and can be. I think wanting to work particularly with young women from those areas who, you know, might experience some prejudice, even just because of their accent. That's really inspiring to me in terms of making work and creating projects that can help to boost those women and give them skills and, you know, make them feel like when they go into rooms, they can talk and they can lead things, and they don't have to only work in like fish and chip shops or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with fish and chip shops, but you know, like if they want creative careers, or if they want to do something that's a bit different, that is a possible thing for them. That's really important to me.
Great stuff. Thank you for that share. I like that as well. And then lastly, in terms of sort of latest news around your charity, around Arcade, what it is that you're up to, that you'd like to share, or even just point us in the direction of your website.
Well, the website is hello-arcade.com, and we're all over the socials and stuff as well, but you can find those links on our website. We have a Christmas project happening, so we ran what was meant to be a little pilot of it last year. It's called Grew. It's with a brilliant artist called Steve Wintercroft, and it's a world that's created out of cardboard. So we made like 300 square meters worth of cardboard walls last year, and a life-size reindeer, and a whole loads of stuff, and it was amazing, and it went very, very well. So we've decided we're going to do that again. So we invite the community to come and build with us. So last year's was made with 300 people, and hopefully we will have 300 people again, or more. And then people are invited to come and walk through the exhibit and see what's been made. So that will be from the 3rd of December, I think.
Brilliant. Look out for that then. Thank you very much, Rach. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you and learning more about Arcade and your inspirations. I wish you all the very best. I hope you go from strength to strength. Thank you very much.
Thank you.